Oppa Gundam style.
Oppa Gungan style. I'm Jar Jar Binks.
Welcome to, wow, cool robot.
A show about Gundam.
A show about feelings. A show about a lot happening all the time.
A show about war crime.
A show about war crime and how it affects the criminal.
And how it affects the family.
And how it affects the family. So, good stuff.
Yeah, it's certainly stuff.
How'd you like these episodes? I never asked that, but...
I mean, here's the thing about the show. I always like the episodes. I always, finish the episodes and say, wow, this is such a good show. But that's not, a positive feeling most of the time.
Yeah, it hurts so good to me.
It hurts so good.
It feels very, wow, they captured this in a way I didn't expect. And it hurts, and I like it.
Yeah, it's just...
So, same.
Oof, ow, owie. Well, yeah, as usual, we watched 3 episodes of the show Mobile Suit Gundam, aka Gundam 0079. That came out in 1979, 10 years before Taylor Swift was born.
Damn. True.
So, I've had We Are Never Ever Getting Back Together stuck in my head ever since Sarah sent it to me last night.
Thank you, Sarah, for making an AMV.
Yeah, peep the Twitter. I've retweeted Sarah, a friend of the show, Sarah McCostumes, friend of the Yu-Gi-Oh!, who did an AMV. Well, shall we get into it?
Yes.
Let's get into it with our first episode of this week. Episode 13, Coming Home.
Yeah, because, Amuro is coming home to his mom.
Yeah, I this episode starts, we see Whitebase, in the water on a beach. I was like, oh, we're gonna have a sick beach episode? And we do for, 30 seconds.
And then we have another one later, so that's fun.
True.
But this one is painful, because it's only, it's only, 30 seconds of each episode. And they're like, oh, where's Amuro? Oh, he's going to see his mom. And, yeah, they cut to him flying his mom, or where he thought his mom was, in some town.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
town.
It's while we're recording, I'm going to look up what town he's from to see if we can geolocate it on the real America.
Ooh.
Or maybe it's Japan at this point, because they did cross the Pacific Ocean. Anyway.
Did they? Oh,
so, yeah.
I guess so. But yeah, it's just funny, because Shithead Kai is calling Amuro elite because his mom is from Earth, even though he didn't. He spent his life in space.
He left Earth when he was a youngin.
Yeah. It's very... I mean, I know new types are in a different series, but it's interesting that he's from Earth and is still a new type.
I think he was the first one, basically, because he just piloted that dang robot so good.
Piloted so good. Military, he goes to his house, or goes to his mom's house, and sees in the window there's some military quartered in there.
Yeah, oh my god, this sucks so much. He goes into his childhood home and he sees just a bunch of drunk soldiers trashing the place and partying like crazy.
And they're just shitheads to him, and they're making fun of him for looking for his mom, and it's just, so pointless. I mean, it makes sense, yes, I think the show captured shitty shitheads really well, but it just feels wow, this is pointlessly cruel.
Yeah, it's do you get it yet? So he sees this little Pinocchio looking puppet on the mantle, and he picks it up and he gets this flashback to when he was a bab. He and his dad are leaving for space. His dad's like, I want Amuro to see all the cool stuff in space. Do you want to come with us? And she just decides to stay back for whatever reason. Like, she's afraid of space, and like, I get that. I'm afraid of space. I don't want to go there. I'll never see Gravity, the movie starring Sandra Bullock.
He's like, I want to show Amuro, wow, cool robots.
Yeah.
But yeah, and his mom's not like in the house, I guess. Apparently, she's just gone. They don't really like the soldiers don't specify anything. They just were like, yeah, it's abandoned house. Fuck you. So Amuro leaves with the Pinocchio.
Yeah, he thinks that she's dead.
Yes, he very much thinks he's dead. She's
because
dead.
he goes to her house. He can't find her. But he's running around. He then like sees a soldier stealing an apple from this lady who's like a street vendor or whatever. Do you get it yet? The soldier's like stealing the apple and he's refusing to pay, and he's like, all right, and he's like just tosses a coin. He like, here's your payment, and he like tosses a coin into the road. And then my boy Amuro Ray, direct action, just like starts beating the shit out of the soldier.
Yeah, he's like, no, make the soldier pick it up.
Do not pick that coin up, madam.
And then, yeah, he beats the shit out of the soldier, and it's good to see, except he gets beat up actually more, probably back, because there's more soldiers than there are Amuros, unfortunately.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and these are all Federation soldiers, like, just being clear.
Yeah, this is not Zeon. This is, like, the quote-unquote good guys. Do you get it?
Do you get it yet? But, yeah. Eventually, the woman who's like, okay, I'll give you your money back, please stop beating up this child, who is dressed like a soldier, because he is a soldier, but is also a child. So, they do, like, they leave. Amuro finds out this woman is, the mother of a childhood friend.
Yeah, she like, recognizes him. It's like, I don't know, there's this very, very weird feeling sort of hanging in the air this whole time, because, like, Amuro goes back to his childhood home, but, like, you don't really feel like he has that much of a connection to it. Because, like, literally only this one lady recognizes him. So It's just, like, I don't know, it's probably trying to say something, but it's just very weird the whole time.
It has a very odd atmosphere, and in some senses it mostly feels like he's definitely just going back to see his mom, which makes sense. But yeah, the two of them end up talking on, like, a porch. Mm-hmm. And, yeah, Amuro's childhood friend is dead, and
cool.
Her dad / this woman's husband is dead, so...
Cool.
Good stuff. And
Great.
I guess, and the woman's like, yeah, the soldiers who survived, in this town were abandoned by HQ, and it just felt like she was trying to give an excuse for their shitty behavior, and I'm like, no, I don't care. You can be shitty, you can be a good person and still be sad you were abandoned. Sorry.
Yeah, it's I don't know. The show... I like that there's a lot to unpack with the show. It's just hard to do it sometimes because a lot of it's just like, oh my god, this is just like really, really heavy material. I think I sort of narrowed in on what makes this seem so weird is like seeing Amuro return to this like almost idyllic sort of hometown setting after like Space War. Yeah. Like, it's this very strange tonal shift. And I know that like the show is like lighthearted in a lot of times. So it's not like the first time there's this sort of weird downtime. It's just very weird seeing, like, you know, a normal town, I guess.
It's also weird, to me, at least, like, I don't know, because it's a normal town, and it looks normal, but then they're like, oh, all these people are gone.
Right.
Some of the people here are just soldiers. They're not...
they don't live here.
They don't live here. They're like...
They don't even go to here.
Yeah.
They go to a different school.
They go to military school.
Oh, and I'll also one more capital T thing I noticed about all this is that like when we've gotten to see Zeon pilots outside of their setting, which is inside a Zaku or a fighter ship or whatever, they're nice and empathetic towards the refugees and all that.
Yes.
And then when we get to see like the average Federation soldier, they're a drunk asshole partying in some random home they don't even care about.
Or they steal apples and do like
Do you get
it? The only like Federation people that I'm like, all right with at the moment are White Base, and then like maybe Matilda's girlfriend.
Mm-hmm.
Like,
yeah, I'm still TBA on her.
That's why I made that noise. I was like, maybe, maybe her crew. Who knows?
Yeah.
I'm a little worried just because of how they set it up later. But
yeah, I do not trust like that.
I do not trust like that, especially in this show. Let me tell you.
Right.
Any kind of heart feelings just ends up with you fucking being obliterated by your boyfriend.
Yeah. But after they're chatting, the lady mentions that there's like a refugee camp by the church and his mom's probably over there working. And he was like, "What? Why didn't you say that earlier?" And he just like hauls ass away.
Yeah, she's like volunteering there, and it's like confirmed. So
yeah, hashtag confirmed. Amro's mom is alive.
Yeah, she's alive. She doesn't have the dead mom haircut either. So
yeah. She's Kamaria, the alive mom. But in between Amuro leaving and going into the refugee camp, we get this scene of a couple of Zeon fighters hovering around White Base. I don't think they like noticed them originally. Like they're just patrolling.
Yeah, and I think White Base was afraid they were gonna notice them soon.
Yeah.
So
that's definitely a common theme that we've had in a couple battles so far too. It's just like, well, we got to kill them first before they can like give us away.
Yeah, and I think part of it is just because it's like it's only them, it's only White Base, so they just feel like, damn, we gotta like do a lot of surprise attacks.
Mm-hmm.
There's like a bunch of them versus small us, even though I guess the Federation and Zeon are kind of the other way around. Interesting. The Zeon's smaller. Yeah, so Ryu pilots the core fighter and shoots him.
Yeah, it's like he kills one of them. He like tags the other, but it's not destroyed, but he's leaking fuel, so it's like, if he had done nothing, then there wouldn't have been a problem.
Yeah, that's how I feel. I was like, they could have just stayed hidden. I don't know.
Mm-hmm.
That's my opinion. That's my onion.
Yeah, just your onion. But so we cut over to the refugee camp at the church area. Amuro lands. People are there like, yo, buddy, you gotta move that ship pronto because there's Zeon, like we're right next to a Zeon base, so they're gonna be like checking They're gonna be checking on us every so often. So if they see a Federation military ship here, they are not gonna be too happy. But in the middle of all this, like as he's about to like turn around and like move his ship, his mom calls out to him and like, oh damn dude, oof, ow my heart, my heart.
They do a hug.
It's like a very long, drawn-out scene of them just like looking at each other and like calling each other's names. It's like, oh my god.
I'm just like, oh my god.
I love to see it. But
it's hard because they later confirm that Amuro doesn't know if his dad is alive or not. So this could be
right
family.
It's funny. After the first episode was posted, someone in HKIP Discord messaged me and said that like, yeah, they purposely don't tell you if Tem, his dad, is like alive or dead or not. They just like completely unknown. So it's cool that they just like stop caring about his character, which is fine. I mean, here's the thing. It's like the little characterization we get between Amuro and his mom is enough for me. Like, I don't need a third. I don't need his dad to be in the picture because he has this whole other network of characters that he deals with.
Yeah, for sure.
Like, it would feel almost like... I mean, I know the show was made, like, a long time ago, but it feels like even then it would have been a tired cliche for his dad to show up and just, like, sort of throw a wrench in the plans because of daddy issues.
True.
So I'm sort of okay with that not being part of the show.
Yeah, me too.
Yeah.
He's plenty of other issues. He doesn't need daddy issues.
Yeah.
Uh, his mom, she's kind of maybe a little bit,
Yeah,
slightly.
we're foreshadowing, you see.
I'm so good at foreshadowing.
Yeah.
I'll just cry. Uh, anyway, so he does go hide the ship because he's reminded, like, hey, this needs to be done. Your ship is fucking white,
hmm
dumbass. Like,
it's like white and red and blue and very, very bright colors, and it's easy to see.
seems like a poor choice, but I do like to see it.
I mean, yeah, look, here's the thing. If I'm given a choice between, like, a normal camouflage ship and just, like, a very bright, garish, primary colored ship, you know I'm picking the pretty one.
Yeah, dude, for sure. Same, maybe. But I'm also like not going to war. Uh,
Yeah, that might be an important distinction to make, maybe. I
hang on, my
guess.
cat is walking on my notes. So okay, there we go.
Let Gizmo pilot a mobile suit.
Oh no! Oh, he would pilot the Hello Kitty model suit Gundam that Sarah just
Oh my god,
posted.
he would, yes. Uh, oh, that's so good.
Oh man,
We cut over, we see, like, the Xeon ships. Wait, nope, just kidding.
not yet.
Xeon soldiers show up to patrol the camp. Um,
Yeah, like Amaro was like first talking with his mom, and I was like laughing because I was like, "Oh, he's gonna take a little nappy nap," but actually he was in bed because he's being camouflaged.
It's a disguise. Yeah, they go into the little, like, refugee camp area inside the building, and they're like, "Yo, we heard tell of a Federation ship parked here. Would any of you fine individuals like to tell us a thing about it? I'll give you chocolate if you do."
Yeah, he bribes his kid with chocolate.
And the kid, like, kicks him in the shins and runs off. It's great.
This kid is so pissed.
I mean, like, I get it. Chocolate's cool and all. Maybe if you gave me a Twix bar, I'd be a little more compliant. If it's just a regular Hershey's chocolate, I don't know. You got to try harder than that.
I would take it, and then I'd be like, I don't know shit.
Oh, that's the real game. Yeah. Take the bribe, but don't give him the information. This isn't like an important social contract. This is wartime. All's fair.
Exactly.
All's fair in chocolate and war.
Exactly.
But, so, oh god, Morg, you want to take this scene?
Yeah, I was freaking out earlier, so it's only fair, I guess.
It's your burden to bear.
It's my burden to bear. So, yeah, Amuro is being hidden, and at first they like try to. The soldiers are like, "Who's this kid?" And they're like, "Oh, it's my dad." Or it's my dad. Wow, I'm very fucking confused.
Oh, I missed it. It's me, dad.
I'm so sorry. I'm ruining the scene. Okay, no, it's my son. Like, leave him alone. But and at first it was like it seemed like maybe it's gonna work, but then
He gets a pager.
he
Beep, beep,
gets a
beep, beep.
phone call, and I'm like, hey, don't call people while they're being in disguise.
It's like they didn't know because, it's White Base calling him saying, yo, Xeon patrols, they know where we are, you gotta help us. Oh, pretty bad timing, though.
The soldiers are immediately suspect, and like his mom tries to hide him a little more and be like, no, leave him alone, and then before anything else happens, one of the soldiers gets shot by Amuro because he shoots through the blanket, and
Oh, God.
it's an incredible scene because everything's in slow motion.
It's so drawn out. Oh my god.
The background is this like fucked up
It's like an Earthbound battle background.
Yes, it is. It's like an Earthbound battle background, and it kind of gives a similar like anxiety that those do.
Yeah.
And it feels very much like, yes, this is Amuro seeing the background like this fucked up way, and just like all this happening in slow motion because he shot this guy like face to face. No Gundam, no nothing.
Like Amuro, like, look, Amuro's killed people before, like, in the Zaku's and stuff, but this is the first time Amuro has killed a person, you know?
Yeah, like face to face, first time he's like seen the person he's killed. I think. And yeah, well, this guy falls over and he's like trying to aim at the other soldier that's there, but like that soldier gets away. He like runs away and Amuro just keeps fucking unloading while they're like like he's driving away. He's just like unloads all the bullets out there until it like starts clicking like with no bullets left, and I was losing my mind. And
He's just going ham!
he like became bloodthirsty for a second or something. Like he
It's just, Amuro went sicko mode.
Yeah, Amuro went sicko mode again, but in a different way, and it hurts to see it still. And he's traumatized, and I am too. No, of course sees all this happening, and is just like, how can you do that?
This is not my boy!
And the other soldier, I guess, like he's gonna live, and like all the refugees like call a doctor for him.
Yeah, like he's gonna live, but again, Amuro did like try to kill and murder and destroy the man.
Amuro
So
very clearly was like trying to kill him.
he had set, yeah, he set phasers to kill.
Yeah. And his mom like pulls him aside while this commotion over this like dying man is happening.
What the fuck? I did not raise you to be like this.
Yeah, she's just like, how can you aim a gun at someone like that? They could have children. You've gotten so cruel. Like, she just lays into him.
Yeah.
And
it's tough love. It's what he needs to hear. It's also what the show needs to have, but like at the same time, like she's being a mother to him.
yeah,
And then
for
we
sure.
get like the most raw line in the entire show so far, where Amura's like, I guess you don't love me anymore.
Yeah, he like asks her, "Do you love me?" And she's like, "Of course I do. I'm your mom." And then he's like, "You're a liar." He literally
Oh my
calls his
god.
mom a liar about loving him, and
Oh,
it's just like
it is
fucking.
so brutal. This show, everyone needs to watch this show.
He's 15 years old.
God.
This boy is 15, and he is changed. He is a changed man.
He's like, this is because you were raised by a man. What?
Yeah, that was an interesting moment.
What?
Yeah, she like self-reflect, like, oh man, it was because he was raised by a man. You disgraceful child. Phew. He ended up like taking the call, right, from
yeah, yeah.
and he wasn't. This is a note I wrote. Like, he wasn't even like mad at them at that point for calling him. He's just like, time to go.
He was like, whatever, I gotta do my thing.
And he does his thing. He goes
he flies over. So he's like, all right, I'm gonna go destroy this Xeon base that's like right over here, because that's where they came from. And like as he's flying, he notices the gun parry, which is the name of the funny like box transport ship thing that they flew in the refugee episode earlier. The other refugee episode. It's carrying the Gundam, and like we get a new capital letters Gundam technique in this.
It rules.
It's cool. It's the mid-air transfer.
Yes.
Which is just like, so the core fighter will fold up to become the cockpit of the Gundam. We know this, but the Gundam is like deployed in the B parts and the A parts, aka the pants and the shirt. It's
Gamuro's given his
so
pants
funny.
and shirt. He's finally
He
dressed.
needs to get dressed. Yeah.
He's finally dressed. And it's very like, it definitely seems like this is the technique people use for like other robots and other shows, like folding together and like, making a bigger one. Like a Zord kind of
Yeah.
like thing, but like yeah, it all happens in midair. They like almost mess up with like
Thanks
this
to Kai.
with the shirt. They almost mess up with the shirt. It's a little far away. He's like fuck Kai, and then he gets it
Asshole.
though, and
He gets it.
it's good.
Yeah. While this is happening, we see Amuro's mom crying because he's a killer now. Oh boy. Ouch.
He's a killer. She's
Um,
crying. He's taking down the base. He's going kind of like wild on the base.
yeah, it's the consequence of like the messed up midair transfer is that like he gets shot in the peen a little bit as he's like getting put together, and then he lands and he's fine.
Yeah.
But he does get shot in the robot crotch. It's kind of funny.
It is kind of funny.
But yeah, he destroys the base. Bright is mad at him, but he like also understands. He's like, because like Mirai's like, this is his hometown, and like we don't really see anything after that. But I definitely understood that to be like Bright being like, oh, I get it now.
Yeah. I was like, Bright's pissed, but so then there's like a last like scene before before they leave where Amuro is talking to his mom, kind of saying bye to her. Um there's Bright's there too, and or like he walks up to them, I think, and
Mm-hmm.
it's just like, um, your son is doing a good job. He's kicking ass, taking names, and but Amr was like very surprised, like what, what? Wait,
Yeah, I thought you were mad at me.
I thought you were mad at me. He's probably a little mad at him, but
But yeah, that's like basically it. He has to continue. He has to say goodbye to his mom because he's like he like salutes her as he leaves. It's like, oh, he's a military boy now.
I sent a note to you. I was like, he can never go back to civilian life because there was like, if he had wanted to, like Bray actually extended it. Was like, hey, we're gonna leave, and it felt
Mm-hmm.
very like we're gonna leave. You're coming, right? Like, are you coming? Are you staying here? Kind of thing. But he's coming.
Yeah.
He's a changed dude. He's not a civilian anymore. He like cannot handle just being like sitting there.
Right. Yeah. And like the last shot of the episode is his mom like on her hands and knees in tears.
Yeah, it sucks. I was like,
Mm.
ooh,
I'll
ooh.
tell you what though, I'm glad we didn't record this episode on Mother's Day.
Oh my god. Oh my god. That would be a lot.
That would be too much. Anyway, good episode. Good show.
Good show. Good show. I'm in pain. Uh, so the next episode 14, time, Beasta.
Yeah. The first shot of this episode is a stage magician going ham on a Xeon camp.
Yeah, I was like, is this the same show? It's very funny. And all the Xeon people are like, fuck you, you suck. Um, and then I do love to see the Xeon people all just like chatting. They're all just talking.
They're normal people.
They're just normal people, making plans, some of them war plans.
Yeah, they're scheming on ways to capture the Gundam so they can get to go home early. Because if they capture the Gundam or destroy the Gundam, they're done with the war. They can leave and go home.
Yeah. Yeah. It's understandable, even if it's like, no, we can't destroy the Gundam. The show will not continue. Right. Hello? But it's... Yeah, it just... it's... White base is camouflaged, and I just think it's funny, because I'm like, it's still bright white, and it has, moss on it.
Yeah, like, we see it camouflaged at the beginning of the previous episode, but here it's like shoved in a forest. It's just like, really silly looking. I guess if you're looking at it from above, all you see is green, so it makes sense.
Yeah, it does. It's just very funny, because we don't see it from above, we see it from the side.
Right.
And they're getting supplies.
Yeah, Lieutenant Matilda is here,
She's back.
resident crush of Amuro.
She's back, everyone. She is talking to Bright. Uh, she's like, um, they intend to send you a superior officer. You know, like, we're still trying to send you help. We're not abandoning you, but we're still treating you as a guinea pig.
Yeah, we gotta, like, fight this European front. But hey, you're doing a great job collecting data for us in the meantime.
Yeah, they're like, oh, amateur. They're like, amateurs are good at giving us new techniques. Like, wow.
Yeah.
Okay. So, yeah, I guess so. They're very creative.
Yeah, right.
They do call him Ensign Bright.
Ensign. Yeah, I don't know if that's a promotion or a demotion.
I believe it's a. I don't know. I don't know, actually.
It makes sense either way, because she mentions that, oh yeah, well, like, we could have just had you all executed for stealing White Base in the Gundam, so we're gonna let you live, but you gotta keep doing stuff for us.
Yeah, so I wasn't sure, yeah, if it was like a promotion, like, good job, you didn't die, so you're an ensign now, or ensign. I always say it wrong. I watch Star Trek, I still say it wrong, fuck. um, uh, or if it was like a, yeah, promotion because they survived, or a demotion because this is better than being executed for taking over a white base and taking the Gundam without saying anything. I guess if it wasn't for Reville, the whole crew would be executed. So
yeah,
good stuff.
Yeah, and after this, Amuro sort of shows up, and they both are like, "Go back to bed, young man. It is past your bedtime." He just leaves immediately.
He's like definitely just trying to scope out Matilda there.
Yeah, and as he's like walking back in through White Base, Frau is there, and she's all pouty and mad at him because she's girl. There can't be other girl.
She's really jelly, and I'm like,
she's so jelly.
Please stop.
I do not need this plot thread. This show has been doing such a good job at like writing mature themes, and now it's just like, ooh, what if a boy liked two different girls and they were mad at each other about it?
But I'm kind of interested because they've treated like other stuff very interestingly and well in some ways. So I'm just wondering if they're like, hey, he's a teenager and he's doing this. And if it's like, if maybe something's going to happen with her, or something's going to happen where it's like, no, you know, cut it out.
If ever there were a show to make this a bearable plot, it would be this show.
Yeah. I am a little like about it, but I'm like, yeah, I get it. He's 15 again. So,
he is 15. But in the morning, the Federation's leaving. Amuro like rushes to the bridge to watch Matilda leave. He hasn't even eaten breakfast yet, and Frau is still just like, come on, dude. I'm right here. Yeah,
he's just like blushing as she's leaving. It's very funny.
It's
very weird.
But yeah, as Matilda's like flying away, her ship spots a Zeon fighter. And the Zeon fighter notices that like Matilda's ship has no supplies, so they must have resupplied something nearby, so White Base must be nearby. And then the Zeon base mobilizes, and the fight begins.
Yeah, because actually, it's funny, because they're like, you don't have to fight to protect the... Did you notice this? And
I did, I very much did.
Like, you don't have to protect, what is it called, the Medea or something?
Oh, the Medea. Yeah, and the Tyler Perry's Medea.
No! And so... Amuro was doing it, like, kind of to show off, maybe, a little bit.
Oh, yeah, he is absolutely... He's like, yeah, I'm going to deploy. I've never had a problem deploying, Bright. You know this. He just wants to show off to Matilda.
Yeah, he wants to show off. He wants to protect Matilda, and because he can, you know? But... I wonder what they would have done without him. Like, would they have just, like, escaped with damage, or would they have blown up? Like, I don't know.
I mean, they did get tagged pretty badly, but like Matilda mentions that Amuro's like gonna hold them off for them, so they probably would have been okay, because like, you know, they had no supply, so they could get shot through the hull and they'd be okay.
Yeah. True.
But yeah, Amuro mobilizes. So yeah, he like lands in the woods, and he's like already starting to fall into Zeon's trap.
Yeah.
Because there are Zaku's around the woods that are like sort of like dashing through the trees to like throw him off.
Isn't there
And in the
like
meantime,
one Zaku? Isn't there only one?
yeah, I guess there's just one.
Yeah, so because they're just like they don't they this group could only like have one, I guess, because they're probably very expensive to make. But while this one's happening, all the other people that we saw talking earlier in camp are like getting on these little, they call them machine guns.
They're Star Wars hover bikes.
They're hover
They're just like a
bikes,
speeder
and
bike.
they sound like mosquitoes.
A little bit, yeah.
And they're just for buzzing around, and they don't have any protection. And this is something
Mm-hmm.
Amuro clearly realizes after he shoots
Yeah.
one of them. And he's like, wow, they have no protection. Wow, why am I shaking? Wow, why can't I aim at these people anymore? And I'm like, maybe because you shot someone in the episode before this? Maybe because you don't
Maybe.
like to see the people?
Probably not. It's probably
Humans?
fine.
But anyway, he does keep shooting them.
Yeah. He's like being lured away by them, and like as he runs over a ridge, we see a bunch of other ones that are like sort of hidden that are now behind the Gundam. And they start like buzzing him like flies, and they're planting bombs all over Gundam. Uh-oh.
Yep, they plant these pink square bombs. They don't realize they're bombs immediately, but eventually they do when one of them gets shot and blows up his shield.
Yeah.
And he's like, fuck, I have these everywhere. And the whole plan is to like blow up these like. Because the Gundam was like, they say, hastily put together, right? So it'll fall apart easy.
Yeah.
But also it'll just probably kill Amuro.
Yeah.
That's what I was thinking. I was like, it'll probably just blow him up anyway. But they did make a point of being like, it was hastily put together in the beginning. But
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
yeah, they explode in 30 minutes.
Yeah. From this point, basically, like the whole rest of the episode is like Amuro trying to defuse the ship or defuse Gundam. It's pretty tense though, because like all the Zeon soldiers are just sort of like goofing off in the background with like binoculars, watching them try and defuse it with like a clock going on.
Yeah, they're just fucking around watching. I was like,
they're just guys being dudes.
I was like, oh, dudes rock. But
Yeah. Yeah, Amuro is like, all right, whatever. Like, I'm gonna be the one to defuse it because no one else is. And Frau is like freaking the hell out about this. Like, she is like, you are all cowards and hypocrites for not helping him.
She hates it, but it's because, I mean, they don't want more people to blow up than they need. You know, like they're just trying to minimize casualties in case this does go wrong. Because, you know, at first Bright's like, I'm gonna do it, and then Amuro's like, no, it's my Gundam, I gotta do it. I have to take responsibility. And so he does. And it's very tense because he has to, like, very carefully remove these bombs, like, from all these places on Gundam. And
right.
It's
pretty intense.
Yeah, I don't know what else to say about it other than, like, you should watch it and see how it goes, because I feel like, you know, explaining the how long it takes and stuff is harder than just like showing it.
Right. Yeah, you just get a very good sense of suspense from the show. And then when there's like a couple of minutes left, maybe they're all like, "Okay, we gotta help this kid because he's about to die."
Yeah, because there's one like underneath a robot, and he's like trying to dig it out.
It's like on its like elbow, and like he's literally digging like a dog, trying to like get under a fence, trying to get to it.
Yeah,
and they all like haul ass out of White Base. They're driving like it looks like airport luggage cars. But they all drive out on them. They like get the bombs in them, and like Kai, Hayato, Ryu, and Amuro like just like haul ass a kilometer away to like chuck these bombs. And like, you know, immediately as soon as they turn around, it blows up, and like we get one of the sickest explosions I've ever seen.
Yes, it's so cool.
It is animated so well. It's like all swirly and oh.
And then it becomes like a mushroom, and it's
Mm-hmm.
yeah, it's
See,
good.
it's okay to think this explosion is cool because no one got hurt during it.
No one died. It's fine. It's just just tense, a little bit of hurt. They're fine. Um, yeah, it did blow the car away a little because it caught like the tail end of it, but like they're fine. And yeah, the Xeon dudes are like, ah, shit. But then they're like laughing about it. They're like, haha, they did
Yeah.
it. Good job. They're kind of like impressed.
As the episode goes on, the Xeon guys are like, they're starting to be like, wow, is he like actually going to die doing this? And one of them says, I guess we're not the only ones risking our lives. It's just like,
Yep.
God, I live for this. I live for seeing these soldiers act like normal people and like have normal responses to these sort of things.
Yeah, and they're just kind of like, damn, that dude's brave, but also a fool. What a dumbass. But
Yeah.
also, wow, I want to see him. And so they
Yeah.
do go see him. Because they all.
No. These are different guys.
Oh, no. Yeah, okay,
No,
fine, whatever.
they were different. They were different. Yeah. No, because they didn't have like a yeah. No, after like Zim was like, oh, we'll get him next time. As we're just all hanging out, Amura's having his like his daily Capri Sun on the side of the Gundam, and he's like, "Frau, I need more Capri Sun, please. Pacific Cooler, please." Bright is like, there's a station wagon on the horizon, and it's just a bunch of dudes, just a bunch of guys being dudes saying, "Keep up the good work, soldiers!" Ha ha. They're
Yeah.
just like a bunch of bros. Dudes rock.
Yeah, they're just bros. Just doing normal bro stuff. Driving
Just
by.
cheering on the military.
Nothing else sus about this.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah. But yeah, and like the last thing is they're saying like, oh, I guess like these guys are just carefree. Living on Earth must be nice.
Yeah, that's not the last thing, Max.
Is it not? Did I miss something?
Yeah, a little bit.
What did I miss?
Bright recognizes them.
Does he?
Yeah.
Did I really? I genuinely thought these were just random guys.
Yeah, Brett. Oh, I thought you were doing a bit, dude. I literally thought you were doing
No,
a
I
bit.
genuinely wasn't.
No, okay. That's so good.
Oh my god, they really were the Xeon soldiers.
Yeah, they sure fucking were.
Where did they get the car then?
Yeah, dude. I literally thought you were backing me.
Wow.
Oh my god.
Oh my god, I'm as dumb as everyone else on the ship except for Bright.
Bright's like, well, Bright and Mirai are like, hey, those are those guys, aren't they? Those are the guys that put him on the. Yeah, it's very funny.
I was disarmed by their bro facade.
Yeah. They did a good job. They're just young dudes.
Egg on face.
No, it's very good. I'm very glad that you did because it meant I could just be like, hey, dude.
Where did they get the car?
I have no idea. I just figured it was in the base somewhere.
Probably. Oh, that's funny.
That's so
a good
funny. I love this show.
show.
I was like, dude,
man.
it wasn't just random guys, I promise.
I mean, like, it would have worked if they were just random guys still, because they would have been like,
Yeah.
oh, people on Earth don't really get what's going on.
Yeah.
Huh.
Yeah.
Wow, this is a good TV show.
Yes.
You wanna tackle this last one?
Yeah.
Kukuru's Doan's Island.
I kept not being sure how to pronounce his name.
Yeah, it'd be Doan.
But I don't know Kukuroos. I mean, they call him
Cougar.
Doan.
Yeah, it's just Doan. I guess this is full name for the episode title. He's my new dad.
He's my new
Just,
dad.
just out the gate.
It's true. He's everyone's dad.
Confirmed.
Welcome to Donecast.
The Doan cast.
Everyone loves Doan.
Oh god, we do. Yeah, this episode starts out. The teens are practicing their midair Gundam docking again.
Did you notice the opening's different again? Like not the music opening.
Yeah. They change it every so often.
Yeah, it's just cool. I just wanted to mention it. But yeah, they're training to do the midair stuff.
Yeah. They get an SOS from Point 305. So Amuro has to fly out, but as he does, we get some of the most sublime animation I've ever seen. So, okay, so basically Amuro's like he's in Gundam right now, but he has to fly out in Core Fighter in order to get to the point 305. So, and Ryu even comments on this thing, like, I hate when he does this. And he puts the Gundam into the "you have to water me" pose and splits it apart and flies out.
Oh, you're talking about his pose. And Ryu hates it. Oh my god, it is so.
He gets on his hands and knees in Gundam, and he says, "You have to water me, Ryu," and he flies out in Core Fighter.
Oh no, it is the. Oh no.
He's a thirsty little robot.
Oh no, that makes it so much worse. I just thought it was like, oh, I thought it was funny too. Like, I thought it was weird too to just see, like, oh, you know, his stomach's gone. Haha. That's so much worse.
He's a thirsty little robot.
You must water him. Please water him. But yeah.
This is a good TV show.
So he tossed off his pants and shirt and flew away in the Core Fighter. And he's going to that point on the map, and it's an island. He's like, oh, cool, okay, cool. And he spots a ship that's like a Federation ship on the beach. And he goes to it, lands to it, and some dudes are tied up.
Yeah, it's like a normal, regular, like, military fighter jet.
Yeah.
But yeah, the pilots are like tied to their seats, and it's like half blown apart. And like he pulls them out, and one of them just dies in front of him, and he's like, "Oh, one's dead." He's like completely unfazed by this.
Yup.
I don't like this. I don't like what Amuro's becoming.
Yeah, I did not really register that he had died in front of him, but yes, you're right.
Yeah, he like goes limp, and Amuro's like, "Damn, I lost one."
So he tries to save the other one, and he kind of works, maybe.
Yeah, like as he's doing that, like some rocks start getting thrown at him from like beyond the beach that he lands on.
Yeah, just like random rocks, and he pulls out his gun to go chase down who's ever thrown rocks at him.
Amuro, stop pulling your gun out, please.
And I hate to see that gun now because I am scarred from.
I know what this gun has done.
Episode 13. And yeah, he runs after whatever's throwing the rocks, and soon he gets like fiery sticks thrown at him, like torches, and he's like, "What the fuck?" And he looks over a wall. A wall? I don't know if it's like a wall or rocks or whatever, but then he sees 3 kids.
Yeah, they're just babies. It's like a different baby trio,
and they're like, "Fuck you, get off our island,
get out of here."
Shithead Federation, stop it. And he's like, what? Why are you doing this to me?
Right.
Please stop.
And then out from behind, like a cliff on the beach, an entire ass Zaku walks out.
Yep, a Zaku's there. I was like, oh no!
Uh-oh!
I only have Core Fighter. So... And the babies cheer on the Zaku.
Yeah.
They're just very excited to see the Zaku for some reason. And they the Zaku picks up the kids on its hand.
Yeah, in the hand. It's cute.
It's very cute.
I like it.
And they just ride on his shoulders. And
yeah.
Soon he's like, I sleep. But then he sees Core Fighter and he's like, real shit?
Yeah. He's like, "You're Federation." He's like, "All right, I don't want to fight you. Just give me your weapons, and we don't have to get hurt." And Amuro, of course, is like, "Hell no, you're a Zaku. I'm Federation. We're gonna fight."
Time to fight. And he does, even though he's in the little Core Fighter, and he's trying to, blow up the, weak points of the Zaku.
Yeah.
The Zaku's super fast.
He's just running around. He's firing missiles at it. He fires a missile at the Zaku, and the Zaku pinpoint chucks a rock back at the missile, and it explodes right in front of Amuro.
Yeah.
And just makes him his Core Fighter gets downed and falls into the ocean.
Yep, and then Amuro's dead. No.
Amuro dies. End of the show. That's it.
The show. No, he wakes up in a bed.
Yep, he wakes up. He's in a weird little shack. He meets this green-haired Fire Emblem-looking lady named Roland.
She does look like she's from Fire Emblem.
Yeah, look, I'm just very wary of people with like bright green hair in any like game or anime now, because it's like they're probably a dragon.
She does have the brightest like hair and eyes in the fucking show, like so far, too. So that's an interesting thing to see.
It's like blue 0, red 0, 255 green. But she's like, yeah, what's up? Welcome to the island, homeboy. Come hang a while. You want to go find Doan? He's over there.
Yep, and
she's just nice and chill.
He's like, yeah, I want to find Doan. He took my fucking core fighter.
Dude, where's my robot?
Dude, where's my car? And he asks him where his car is. And he's like, no, I'm not going to tell you.
Yeah, Doan's pretty cool looking. He's like this like big, beefy, gruff looking man. He's pretty hunky.
He's a hunky man. Oh, before the Doan thing, I wanted to say, I just wanted to do an animation thing, because they drew the animation in the water of like Amuro talking to the green haired, and it just looked very good. I just want to make note of that, because I love talking about the animation in this show. Anyways,
it's good. Yeah, he's talking with Doan.
Amuro's like, you're lying to these kids. You're telling them bullshit, and that's why they like you.
Yeah, Amuro is like very set on this, that like specifically Doan is lying to the kids to keep him here and to keep him liking him.
Yeah.
Manipulating but kids, he just
fucking cruel as hell.
Yeah, but he just like tells Amuro, he's like, yeah, Zeon wants me dead. Like, I can't let you leave. And Amuro's like, all right. Yeah, he's like, fuck you. I'm gonna go find my shit myself. See ya. And he just storms off. He's all angry in this one.
Yeah, and he keeps looking, and there's just like a lot of scenes of him like climbing up hills, going in the water, seeing if it was left in the
he like spends all day trying to find it.
And they're like, damn, you're determined.
Yeah. But he doesn't, obviously.
Even though I knew immediately where it was.
Yeah, it's like there's a very conspicuous waterfall on the island.
Yes.
And if you ever played a video game, you know that every waterfall has stuff behind it.
Yeah, for sure.
But like Roland shows up on like the cliffside with him, and they like watch the sunset. Roland's like, have you ever chilled out once in your life and just like watched the sunset?
No. Ambrose like, no, I have
clearly not.
I am bad.
But yeah, she says Doan's not a bad guy. He's just like trying to protect the kids. And Amuro again, he's like, no, he's good at deceiving children.
And then she's like, okay, ask him yourself. He'll tell you what he did. He'll tell you everything that's happening. Just talk to him. And Amuro's like, fuck you.
Yeah, I won't.
No.
But and like, you know, we just like see a really short scene of White Base. Can't find Amuro. They're looking all over for him. And now it's nighttime, and now it's bedtime, and now we sleep.
Everyone's sleeping, except no one's not sleeping very well.
Oh god.
Looks like he's having a nightmare, maybe a flashback in his dreams. He is in a Zaku, standing over some kids, those kids.
Mm-hmm.
And there's a dead adult on the ground near the kids.
Is a dead adult, and it's like a burning battlefield, and it's just...
And everything's happening, and he's sweating in his sleep and wakes up in a cold sweat, and he's like, fuck.
What could this mean?
What could this mean? So he's like, I can't sleep, and he goes to look at his little radar that he has to see if anyone's approaching. If anyone's trying to hurt their little island.
Mm-hmm.
And, Roland, not Roland.
Roland. Yeah.
Roland is someone else, is like talking to him about it.
You good, bro?
They're like, are you good? Do you need, you know, what are we doing? What are we going to do about this kid?
Yeah.
And, they aren't sure. They have to figure out to get him on their side, kinda.
Mm-hmm. But meanwhile, White Base clocks a craft flying towards Point 305. And they're like, well, that's where Amuro last was, so we're going to follow them and see what's up. It's a Zaku. It's hanging on to one of those fighters, just like hanging with its arms. And it starts attacking everyone. Amuro like picks up one of the kids in his arms, and like they all run back to Doen.
Yeah, they're just attacking them like out in the open, and it sucks. But yeah, the kids are fine now. They're taken to Doen. I'm just having so many.
Doen,
So
Roland, Doland. But yeah, he's like, all right, we gotta hide. They go to the waterfall. And then out pops the core fighter and Zoan Zaku.
Yep. And they fight the enemy Zaku, and White Base, well, core fighter like Ryu and a core fighter, I guess, because there's multiple.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Like going to is like, wow, hey Amuro, nice to see you. You're not dead.
What's up, buddy?
I've been
glad
looking
you're
for
alive.
you all night. I couldn't sleep. This is true. This is canonical. Amuro tells him, like, hey, that one Zaku, he's on our side. I'll explain later. Don't worry about it. Just don't shoot him. I promise.
Right. Amuro, like, shoots down the enemy fighter that was carrying the Zaku. And he's, like, getting ready to fight the other Zaku. And Doan's like, I'm going to show you some mobile suit martial arts. And I'm like, you're going to what?
Yeah. Because Amuro's like, you don't have fucking weapons. Oh, it's also he's in Gundam now also.
Oh yeah, that's important.
Because he has weapons, and he's like, okay.
Yeah. But while Doan's fighting this other Zaku, we get his backstory as he's like tearfully telling Amuro. So yeah, he's the one who killed the kid's parents with one stray bullet. And like this is basically his atonement, like saving the kids, keeping them safe, keeping them away from Zeon. Yeah. And he punches the Zaku into the ocean. It's pretty sick.
It fucking rules.
It's rad as hell. I love it. It's a good show.
Yeah, and didn't his like Zaku get a little damaged or something? I mean,
yeah, it got like one of the tubes on his face torn, and like part of its shoulder armor got blasted, but it's basically okay.
Yeah, so he won without a weapon.
Yeah. And yeah, they're all like talking afterwards, and Amuro's like, it's like your scent of battle is what attracts Zeon to you.
My what?
Yeah. Bro, you stink. You've been living on this island for who knows how long.
So, Amuro takes Zaku and chucks it into the ocean. He just yeets it out there.
He picks up the Zaku, says, this bitch empty, yeet.
And all the kids are like pissed. They're like, what the fuck? Like, after they had started liking him for, you know, like, saving
their lives and all that, yeah.
They're like, you fucking asshole.
But Doen realizes that this is a good thing, and he's like, no, it's okay, like, this is good. Because he's basically, like, free from it now. He's, like, you know, atoned for his past and all that. He's free from Zeon. They're probably not going to come after him since he doesn't have, like, you know, military hardware just hanging out there that they can presumably track.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking. I was like, oh, they'll just track it into the ocean now, I guess.
Yeah.
So...
good episode.
Good episode.
Good episode, good show. I love Doen so much. He's just a good guy. He's like, I mean, he did, you know, accidentally kill his kid's parents, but then he's immediately like, I'm gonna, like, atone for this.
He probably did other war crimes, to be fair.
Yeah, I mean, look, who in this show, let the person who hasn't committed a war crime throw the first stone.
It's true. Lots of crimes in this show.
Lots of war, lots of crimes.
And I love it. I mean, I don't love war or crimes necessarily. Some crimes are good. I meant to say I love the show. I am having trouble with words today.
Yeah, who among us? But yeah, so I don't really have that much of a segment planned after this because I like just finished cooking and came here. Although I do have a little bit of just like random stupid trivia that you'll be like, what the hell?
Go for it.
Let's see. So I just like, I looked up a little bit on Amuro's mom, Kamaria Ray. And there's not really a whole lot about it just because it's like she's his mom and she stayed on Earth and she's like terrified of what he is now. And that's basically it, like all for her character. But I do have some absolutely batshit trivia about her. Because this is stuff about the novelization, Mobile Suit Gundam: The Origin, which is like something that maybe I'll cover at some point, but it's like a manga, so that'd be a little harder to cover than like a TV show. But people do podcasts about reading anything. So anyway, so reading this straight off the wiki, though it is not mentioned in the stories in the movies, the novelization suggests that Kamaria might have been having an affair behind Tem's back, and that's why she stayed on Earth. Right? Like, what? Hello?
Oh my god.
Like, I'm not trying to equate these two things, but like, you're definitely telling your son he's like changed and been doing bad things, but you also probably cheated on your husband, so you're one to talk.
You're doing some bad stuff. Different bad stuff. It's hard to, compare on bad stuff, but still
bad.
Are you?
And then this is just, and this other one is just like a little fun fact. So like, they're in Japan now, I believe. So it's like, because, Amuro is a Japanese name. But this other one, Kamaria's first name is not Japanese, Kamaria. And also, in Mobile Suit Gundam: The Origin, the white base lands on the Pacific coast between Washington and California, and Amuro finds his home there. Because of this, it is likely that Kamaria is not Japanese but American. This would give Amuro a mixed heritage. In other versions of the story, Amuro's town is somewhere in British Columbia.
Oh, so he could be Canadian or American?
He could be Canadian Japanese or American Japanese.
That makes sense, because his hair is lighter. I feel like, a hair in
anime is not really like a useful indicator.
Hair is kind of weird, but unless they're blonde. Yeah. If they're blonde, they're foreigners. But,
right. Yeah. And then I do have one other little thing that I am shamelessly stealing from another co-host of mine. I have a Beyond Toon World segment.
Oh, hell yes!
You're going to love this. Trust me. Beyond Toon World!
Are you gonna put that in there?
I made the audio file for it, so I have it on my computer. I'll ask for Dan's blessing before I do so.
That's fine.
But today I'm going to talk about Toru Furuya, who is the voice actor for Amuro Ray. Wow, he was born in 1953.
Oh my god.
That makes him 67 years old. Well, 66 because his birthday is not until July 31st.
Oh. Okay.
But like he was a member of an acting troupe growing up, and he's had a lot of like pretty major roles in anime. A lot of older anime, but some pretty popular ones because we know that he voiced Amuro Ray in Gundam.
Probably in several Gundams.
Yeah. Are you familiar with Saint Seiya?
It's sort of. I've heard.
It's like the dudes in like the big like turquoise armor, or they have like they're all named after like different constellations.
Yeah.
But he voiced Pegasus Seiya, who's the main character, I believe.
Ooh.
He voiced in Dragon Ball. He voiced Yamcha.
Oh.
Like he voiced Yamcha in everything, like from Dragon Ball to Dragon Ball Super. So that's like 40 years of Yamcha.
I've only seen the dub of Dragon Ball anything.
Oh, the sub is so good because some of the voices are just like, mwah. And he voiced Tuxedo Mask in Sailor Moon.
My work here is done.
But you didn't do anything. But he did a lot, and he was in a lot of other things. The last couple bits, he voiced Sabo in One Piece. I don't know if like you're familiar with One Piece.
A little. I don't remember Sabu though.
Okay, he's the dude with like the top hat with the goggles on and with the fire punches. Who's blonde.
Oh, yeah. Okay.
Yeah, he's important. And then just a small role because as we found out with Toon World and Pot of Greed, every single voice actor in the world has voiced a character in Pokemon, be it a character or a Pokemon. Usually more so the English voice actors, but he voiced a character. He voiced Berg in Pokemon Best Wishes. Berg being the bug-type gym leader from Gen 5.
Yeah. Huh.
He had a really cool gym, actually. I like that like art gallery thing he had going on.
Oh, I remember For some reason, I remember the one in the second games more with like the webs.
The web. I thought the web was the first one. The art gallery was the second
Oh,
one.
you might be right. I always fuck that up. I've played more of one, or I've played one more often. I played one more often is what I meant.
I played. I mean, I played 2 more often because I spent just like an unreal amount of time with 2 because like that was like,
It's good.
you know, it's 2 Black and White 2 is probably
Maybe
the
the
best
perfect Pokemon.
Pokemon. I mean, look, you know me, you know that Gen 5 is the best generation Pokemon, inarguably, in my humble onion.
I would say Pokemon probably peaked with either Black 2, White 2, or Platinum.
Right. I mean, like, I wouldn't say
I'm
peaked,
kidding.
because it's
I'm
still
like
like
half kidding. I love the new
right.
games. Are you kidding me? I love Sword and Shield. The only games I don't particularly love, which is funny because I love Platinum, but I kind of don't like Pearl and Diamond. I know.
That's true. No, yeah, Platinum fixed a lot. Like, Platinum was one of the
so
really, really good
much.
third versions that, like, really changed the formula. Okay, no. I just checked. The honeycombs were in 1, and the art gallery was in 2.
Oh, wait. The art gallery is different than the honeycombs?
They're both art galleries.
Oh, yeah, I guess
so
they are
so
both.
in 1, it's like the honeycomb where you walk through like the blobby walls of honey.
Yeah.
In 2, it's like that big white room that has like all the like the spider webs everywhere, and like you finish in that really pretty rainbow room.
I remember the cocoons more, even though I've Nuzlocked 1, 2, 3 times.
Oh god, I've never Nuzlocked a Pokemon game, and I never will because that's not fun for me and it hurts. Anyway, this tangent has gone on for long enough.
I love Pokemon.
I love Pokemon too. I need to start building my team for Matt. I started earlier, but battles are so much longer this season now that they're like best of 1, but it's also a full set of 6 in its singles.
Yup.
Imagine a battle taking longer than 8 turns.
56 turns?
What, like 87 turns? Anyway, look, if that happens again, I'm gonna die. But, okay, Morg, what's your... I didn't forget to ask you this. What's your robot of the week?
This isn't being put in post or anything. I actually didn't, even though I had mentioned it, I actually don't know if I came up with one.
Remember, a robot is literally anything you want it to be.
I'm gonna say, since we were talking about Sonic, Scratch the Robot from the Adventures of Sonic the Hedgehog anime series. He's a chicken. He's kind of a dumbass, but I like him.
He's relatable.
He's very good, and yeah, him and Grounder. I feel like I can't, even though it's 2 robots. I feel like I can't mention Scratch without Grounder.
They're a unit. They're a pair.
They're a pair. They're in love. No,
confirmed.
Yeah, and they're both silly, and it's fun. So there you go.
Great, Morg. Internet. Where?
You can find me on Twitter at Haunting the Morg. That's Haunting the MORG. And there you'll find pinned tweet to my other podcast. Well, this one and my other podcast, the Sonic Shuffle. That's Shuffle Sonic on Twitter. That is where I learn about Sonic lore from Dan, aka Mike Dawson, and yeah, he just like tells me stuff. Although lately we've been doing the shows because it's like randomly.
Right, yeah, you're doing the latest one you did was Sonic X, wasn't it?
Yeah, so I will watch those. It's just I don't necessarily want to like read all of the comics, and he was like started the show being like, I will teach you about it if you don't.
Right.
And I'm like, hell yeah, dude.
Yeah. He is the sensei.
Yeah, for sure.
Well, you can find me on Twitter at MaxiBajillion, and you can also find my other podcast, Pot of Greed, at twitter.com/potofgreedcast or potofgreed.tumblr.com. It's a show about Yu-Gi-Oh! In fact, it is the only Yu-Gi-Oh! Show sponsored by Kaiba Corp. We are on season 5 now. The show is extremely, extremely good. I just watched the final episodes. of the Kaiba Corp Grand Prix arc, which means that next up we're doing Capsule Monsters, and I'm in hell, and I'm gonna die.
You're like, I love the show. I hate this show.
I love the show, and then I realized I have an entire month's worth of episodes to watch that are all in English, so God is dead.
Also, I think by the time this is out, like I had mentioned I was on City Girls last time. I just recorded a fear baiting episode with Sarah.
Yay!
So yeah, I'm podcasting all the time for whatever reason.
Oh, I just found a sticker on my bed from putting stickers on my Gundam yesterday that I thought I lost. Cool.
Wow, cool.
Shout out to noisepace.xyz, where you can find the aforementioned Fear Baiting and City Girls Make Do, and a lot of other podcasts that all of our friends do, because it's 2020, it's year of the podcasts.
Year of the podcast. Everything else is crashing, but podcasts are rising.
This will heal America.
Talking about Gundam will heal America.
Yeah! All right, well, that's about it. Morg, you want to kick us off?
War is bad.
Wow, cool robot.